Hey guys, welcome to Bolt from the Blue. My name is Sam. I'm an intuitive, a card reader, a psychic, all this stuff. I have a storybook deck of cards that I created from stories that I found had spiritual lessons for me. And this is a little bite-size reading that may include a lesson that you can, or a reminder, just a reminder. There's Like, I wrote a deck full of things that I already know, but I need reminders of. I wrote them from a high vibrational state. Um, but it's not always the easiest thing to remember all of it, not in an embodied way where you're living it. And these readings are just that little reminder. And this can be for today, the next 24 to 48 hours, or it can be for you to put in your back pocket for whenever you need it. Cool. Let's see what wants to come out for you. We're going to find the perfect card for you, don't you worry. This one. Winnie the Pooh stuck in the doorway. This is card number 18. So maybe right now, just in general, or in the near future, you are, or maybe will, be feeling like you are in a bit of a bind, or feeling a little bit stuck. What happens in this story is Winnie the Pooh, who is a animate stuffed bear, I think I've never described Winnie the Pooh before. Uh, he eats too much honey, guys. He eats too much honey and he gets stuck in his own doorway because his his diameter exceeds that of the doorway itself. He's a little bit stuck. He's in a little bit of a bind, and none of his friends can seem to get him unstuck. Uh, this is a lighthearted scenario. You might come to this reading and you're like, "No, Sam, like, cut the shit. I mean, I'm really stuck, man. Like, I'm in a bind and a half." In which case, just hang tight. And sometimes we're put into, because it's a little bit of a hanged man energy, if you know the tarot, we're put into a situation where we're kind of stuck or our hands are tied in some fashion, where movement is less possible than it normally is. And this is to give us a different perspective. It's like to give us time to assess, to look at a situation and see what wisdom we can glean from it. Yeah. I feel like someone has come to this with like, Sam, I'm in the absolute pits, man. Like your Winnie the Pooh nonsense is not helping. So just stick around. My feeling is, even if this reading is somewhat frustrating on the surface, it will shake something loose. So have faith in that. And keep that in mind as I say what I'm about to say. There is a temptation when we are in the hanged man position and it is not of our choosing. When we are Winnie the Pooh stuck in the doorway, to take on a little bit of a victim role, to say like, this is bullshit. Why is this happening to me? This shouldn't be happening to me. Like, I've done nothing to deserve this kind of energy. But again, it's a moment to stop and pause, because you may not have brought this on yourself. You probably haven't, but there are possibly some ways, maybe, that you attracted aspects of this situation or some missteps that have aligned you with it, right? And we don't have to be in a position of harsh blame when we look at ourselves and assess, like, okay, what decisions did I make that contributed to this current stuckness? That can be a harsh, critical energy if we allow it to be, but that's the ego still, right? So what if we soften and, we're hanging upside down and all the blood is rushing to our head, we're stuck in the doorway, and we might be feeling a little bit embarrassed and annoyed. But just taking a second to softly say, okay, like, whether they were mistakes or not, whether they were the best decision I could have made at the time or not, what is this the result of? Like, what was the cause to this effect? And we might be able to assess that, and we might not. We might have a part in that, and we might not. But it's worth a look, is all that this card is saying. And the most useful part of this card for me, and why I wrote it for myself as a reminder, is this question. Is it truly uncomfortable? Is it truly unfathomable? You cannot stand it? Or would you benefit from even the slightest adjustment in your attitude towards it? And I know, I can feel the energy coming through, guys. I'm really sorry. This is coming through for a reason for you, and you might not be receptive to it now, but put it in your back pocket, because once we work through the initial emotions brought on by a situation like this, and we are in that pause, even a forced pause, to consider the situation, we may find that, okay, I can make this 90% better just by an adjustment in my attitude. And I choose to do so for my own benefit. Like, it's a selfish thing. For me, I choose this because, screw victim mentality. I'm not going to allow myself to stay in that, right? And you might not be there right now, but it's just time. Yeah. And the openness to it. The lesson here with Winnie the Pooh is kind of a clear one. Like, it's maybe don't overindulge in honey kind of lesson. Maybe a gluttony lesson, if you want to see it in those terms. But he's a bear of very little brain. He doesn't know. This is how he learns lessons. And sometimes we're in a heavy density, and sometimes the fastest way to learn a lesson from the perspective of our highest selves is also sort of the hardest way that we could learn it, or like a very visceral way to learn the lesson. And over time, we can learn from stories, and we can do our best to try to avoid, we can learn from other people's mistakes and try to avoid the same situations that got you into this energy, into this situation. So if nothing else, it's useful in those terms, right? Take a look at it so you're like, hey, look, this is never going to happen to me again, and I'm going to make sure of it. Do a little assessment, a little audit. What the hell happened here? That's the energy that I get, is like, what the actual freaking hell happened here? Like, what is this? And you may notice a pattern or a decision or a combination of elements that in the future, when they come up again, maybe wearing different masks in the form of different people or a different situation, you can say, I know what this is. I remember being stuck in that doorway. I remember hanging upside down. And I'm not doing that again. So no, 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 right? Or yes, 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 right? You can see the pathway out next time. As you sit stuck in the doorway, you can see how not to get stuck in the doorway again. Now is a perfect, divinely timed moment for reflection and working on embodying wisdom learned. I'll be honest, guys, sometimes these, I post these intuitively, and sometimes the lessons as they occur on the day are spot on for me. These readings that I've done for the public, right? So this might just as much be for me as it is for you on the day that this comes out. I might have got myself in a little bit of a conundrum, a little bit of a dilemma. But what I would want my future self to do is learn from it. And maybe, just maybe, by hearing this reading, I can avoid that situation in the first place, because I'm just thinking more about foresight, right? I'm understanding the effects of my actions today on tomorrow, or at least feeling them through a bit more. If there's any like clear or concrete advice from this card, is to breathe deeply, regulate your nervous system, meditate, and give it time, because this too shall pass, right? The Hanged Man is not something we usually relish being in, but it gives us a different perspective. And the whole thing about it is that it doesn't last forever. No one can last all that long strung up by one leg upside down. The whole thing is like it's temporary, right? And there is power in remembering that as well. That you can lessen the discomfort you're experiencing. That's the first powerful piece. And the second powerful piece is the discomfort you're experiencing will not last forever. And you are safe. I'm having my root chakra triggered. Someone needs to feel in an embodied way that they are safe, because you are. You are fundamentally safe. Okay, that's it. Have a great rest of your day, next 24 hours, 48 hours, and I'll see you guys in the next one.